Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's take a look outside our weather window from this Tuesday afternoon. And what a gorgeous day once again today. In fact, temperatures got a little bit warmer than we thought today with all that sunshine. And boy, look at that shot too, looking down from Wenatchee Heights in our cross camera. What the heck happened to our snow, right? It just disappeared. It's amazing what a few 40-degree days will do. And speaking of 40-degree days, here you have it, our 7-day forecast. Today, tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a few more clouds on Thursday, but still nice. Friday, more sun, and then a bit of a storm system moves in overnight Saturday, maybe a rain mixed with snow showers Sunday morning before we get back to the sunshine on Monday with highs again in the low 40s. We'll have more weather for you coming up a little bit later in the newscast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Chumstick Highway outside Plain remains closed after a 25-foot boulder blocked one lane Sunday and two others threatened to fall. Speaking of closures, saying it's a sign spring is on the way, Chelan County closed Burch Mountain Road north of Wenatchee this morning. And the city of Wenatchee may soon loosen its facial mask policy for employees. But first, our top story tonight. A 56-year-old man was seriously injured yesterday afternoon just west of Quincy when his pickup collided with a semi-truck and trailer on Highway 28. The Washington State Patrol reports that just after 4 p.m., a 2021 Chevy Silverado pickup being driven by Tracy O. Popham of Clarkston struck the rear of the trailer that was being towed by a 2014 Peterbilt semi while the semi had stopped to make a left turn off the highway onto Road S Northwest. Popham was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane, while the driver of the semi, 26-year-old Oswald Hernandez Diaz of Quincy, was taken to Quincy Valley Medical Center with unknown injuries. Popham faces charges of following too close. Chumstick Highway outside Plain remains closed after a 25-foot boulder blocked one lane Sunday and two others threatened to fall. The Chelan County Public Works Department say the closure is likely to go on at least through tomorrow. Traffic is blocked at the intersection with Camp 12 Road, with drivers asked to use Tumwater Canyon as an alternative route. The boulder in the roadway is about 25 feet in diameter. A county contractor began the work Monday of breaking it into smaller pieces for removal. The two rocks that still threaten to fall will have to be removed by a similar method. Well, speaking of closures, saying it's a sign spring is on the way, Chelan County closed Burch Mountain Road north of Wenatchee this morning. The seasonal road closure where the pavement ends is to prevent road damage during melting and thawing of winter snow. The closure typically runs through the end of March. While vehicles are prohibited on the road, it remains open to foot traffic. The city of Wenatchee may soon loosen its facial mask policy for employees. Mayor Frank Kuntz told city council members last week those staffers who were fully vaccinated may soon be allowed to go without masks while on the job. City policy for most of the COVID-19 pandemic has called for masks in shared areas for all employees. Kuntz said the changes would also drop mask requirements for the council.
So obviously the governor has sort of saying that he's going to be changing our mask policy. Currently, the city policy is probably a little stronger than the state policy, and that our policy is if you're in your office and you're moving around, you're wearing a mask. If you're in your own location and you've been vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask. And so that's been the city policy for a while. It is a little bit further along than maybe where the state is at this point. So we are sort of considering from a management perspective, loosening the standard, which basically says if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask at work anymore.
It would be aligning it with what's currently allowed while we wait to hear the date on what we think is going to be even more flexibility from that. So it's kind of a step down till we get to the next step down.
When we come back, Senator Brad Hawkins' bill to put a pedestrian underpass beneath Highway 2 in Leavenworth effectively dies in a state committee. Two bills making their way through the legislature would put further restriction on guns. The city of Wenatchee won't revise its noise ordinance this year. And Rex Buck Jr., the longtime leader of the Columbia River Wanapum tribe, has died. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Spring is more than just a time to clean. It's your time to renew, recharge, and spend time with the people you love. At Merry Maids, our cleaning services go beyond the basic services and provide you with a comprehensive clean that will re-energize your home and enhance your life. From everyday routine cleaning or deep cleanings, Merry Maids professional team members can provide you with an unrivaled experience. Call Merry Maids to schedule your cleaning today.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Welcome back. In another news, a $4.5 million pedestrian underpass for Highway 2 in Leavenworth is among the items advancing in a major state transportation spending bill. The Move Ahead Washington Act includes the budget request from State Senator Brad Hawkins, which would create a walkway tunnel beneath the busy highway near the east end of town. Hawkins says the planning and budgeting could change radically before the bill moves out of the Senate Transportation Committee. He says he hopes to keep the underpass measure in place. About $165 million in other road and highway proposals for the 12th District so far have been left out of the bill. The Washington State House passed a bill yesterday that would ban firearms and other weapons in certain government buildings and at school board meetings. It's the second bill to move through the legislature this session. The Senate earlier passed a ban on the sale of gun magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. Both 12th District Representatives Keith Gaynor and Mike Steele voted against the latest gun measure, while State Senator Brad Hawkins opposed the bill limiting magazine capacities. Both bills must now be approved in their opposite chambers and signed by the governor. Democrats control both the House and Senate, and both bills were approved despite Republican opposition. Last year, the legislature banned weapons on the Capitol campus in Olympia. The city of Wenatchee won't take up a long-delayed revision to its noise ordinance this year. Current city code simply prohibits any loud, repetitive, raucous noise that's offensive to a reasonable person 50 feet away. The City Council and its Planning Commission last tried to draw up a new ordinance in 2020, saying the current law is unclear and difficult to enforce. Mayor Frank Kuntz said last week a new draft ordinance is not forthcoming for 2022.
I think the consensus from talking to all 7 of you was, although not unanimous, that we would table the noise ordinance discussion for another time. And I'll work with the chief about enforcing the laws that we currently have and making sure they're responding to calls.
There seems to be some ambiguity with the police department on how they need to enforce it as it stands now. I think we just need to make sure that it's clear to them so that when they get a call and they show up and you stand at this fence line, if you can hear something, they've got a leg to stand. Something just so that it's clear, because I've been there where I've called and it feels like you can't get anything done.
Rex Buck Jr., the longtime leader of the Columbia River Wanapum tribe, has died. Buck passed away on Friday at the age of 66. He grew up in the ancestral Wanapum village located near Wanapum Dam. For many years, he worked for the Chelan County PUD, which operates the dam and holds cooperative agreements with the Wanapum. He helped develop the Wanapum Heritage Center and worked to protect cultural sites and resources important to his tribe and others throughout the Pacific Northwest. He's survived by his wife Angela and 7 children. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come right here on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. All this week, NCWLIFE is featuring Eric Granstrom's interviews with the 10 finalists for Apple Blossom Festival Royalty. We'll be airing portions of those interviews on the Evening News each day this week, with the full interviews shown on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. In the spotlight tonight are finalists Cadence Garrison of Eastmont High School and Ainsley Shearer of Wenatchee High School.
For me, I've been in a lot of activities and stuff like that, but I've always been the shy kid who's in like the popular group, but not always out there, putting myself out there. So I wanted to give myself a chance to be more social and meet a lot of people in the Wenatchee Valley, because I love the Wenatchee Valley and I would love to know how it works and the people who run it. So
you say in your bio that your grandfather inspired you most.
Yes.
How?
He, being in the Omak Valley, the Okanagan County, it's a very small county, so you get to know everyone, and he is loved by every single person, and I love him in every way, but he's also was a teacher for many years, so he got to help kids grow, and he was also a firefighter and an EMT for many years, volunteer, never was paid, and I just inspired to be like him because he's always so positive and always truly there for me whenever I need him.
Well, I didn't make it into the junior royalty. And I remember always looking at it and being like, oh, that looks so fun. That looks so fun. And one of my friends participated in it and she always talked to me about it. And so that's one reason. I've never done a pageant before. No one in my family has ever done a pageant before. We've never been interested in that type of thing. So it's taking a step out of my comfort zone and taking a step out of my family's comfort zone and trying something new.
You say your mom inspires you.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Well, she worked at the PUD for about 20 years. And just recently, just in this past month, she quit her job and got a job as executive director of Leavenworth Summer Theater, which is is a pretty large pay difference. So it was tough for our family, and it was tough for her to make the decision, but it's really inspiring to see someone that you've looked up to forever, like, decide this career path isn't it for me. I'm going to go and try for something that I'm really passionate about. And like, that just takes so much courage to be 20 years into your career and to decide, you know what, I'm going to find a new career.
Time to take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hard not to like this Tuesday, wasn't it? With just beautiful weather all across North Central Washington today. As we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, lots of blue sky out there today, and that made for just a beautiful day and warm temperatures too. In fact, unofficially today, look at that, 50 degrees. We thought we'd get to about 44 degrees, and it jumped way above that. 42 is where we should be for this time of year. 57, our record high, and that was set back in 2015. Low this morning, pretty much where we should be for this time of year. 28 this morning, 27 is normal. Record low, 14 degrees, and that was set back in 1995. Precipitation to date, we are still at 1.18 inches, and what's significant about that is we picked that up all in one day on January 6th when we had that big snowstorm. We have not picked up any measurable precipitation since then, so that brings us now about 1/4 of an inch behind where we should be for precipitation. Snowfall, we're still in good shape from that big snow, 42.8 inches. Sunrise this morning, 7:06, and the sun sets at 5:25. Tomorrow's weather, I think you're going to like it. If you like today, a lot like today. Maybe not quite as warm today, but it did jump up a little higher than we thought. 48s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 47 in Quincy. Cooler then as you go back to the west and northwest. Wenatchee, 46. 44, your high in Leavenworth, and a beautiful 45 degrees tomorrow if you're heading over to Lake Chelan. As we take a look at that surface loop now, mostly clear skies, big weather drivers still. This area of high pressure out in the Pacific, that could bring us a slight northwesterly breeze tonight. Low temperatures on the mild side, right around that 30-degree mark. For Wednesday, lots of clear skies, so that means sunshine for us tomorrow. We'll stay unseasonably warm. High temperatures tomorrow predominantly in central and eastern Washington in the mid-40s, around low 50s for the Tri-Cities for Wednesday. Thursday's weather, partly cloudy skies. Our ridge will get kind of squeezed down a little bit, and that'll allow some clouds to move down. It's behind this area of low pressure, and so just a few more clouds Thursday. Friday, back to the sunshine, still warm with high temperatures Friday in the mid-40s. As we get you into your Saturday, here's our area of high pressure. It's now being elongated and kind of squished in the Pacific, and that's going to allow some clouds and showers to come down from the Gulf of Alaska. We will see about a 40% chance of rain showers overnight Saturday. High temperatures in the low to mid-40s. Morning snow and rain showers a possibility early in the day, but by afternoon those should taper off. Our skies will become partly cloudy with highs in the low 40s. And then as we get you into our last day of the forecast, President's Day on Monday. Hope a lot of you have the day off because it is going to be beautiful, mostly sunny with seasonal temperatures, and that means highs in the low 40s. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. 31 overnight tonight. Just fantastic for your Wednesday. Sunny and 46. Partly cloudy and 45 on Thursday. Nice day on Friday as well. Partly sunny skies with a high of 46. And then a little bit of instability moves our way, especially late in the day Saturday, overnight Saturday into Sunday. We have about a 30 to 40% chance of rain Saturday. A rain-snow mix Sunday morning. Temperatures not bad though in the low to mid 40s. And then as we get you into President's Day on Monday, mostly sunny skies and seasonal with highs then around 42. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza. Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Join us for live coverage of the Royalty Selection Pageant sponsored by Cashmere Valley Bank, Saturday, February 19th. The countdown to coronation gets underway at 6:30. The pageant starts at 7. Coverage is sponsored by Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Merry Maids, August Edge, Apple Valley Honda, and the Chelan County PUD's Discovery Center. It's the Royalty Selection Pageant, only on the NCWLIFE channel.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Seattle Kraken hosted the Toronto Maple Leafs for the first time in franchise history last night, and were kind of roughed up by the visitors in the game as Toronto skated to a 6-2 victory, the most lopsided game for Seattle since a 5-0 shutout by St. Louis back in January. The Leafs scored within the first 4 minutes of the game to set the tone. Seattle did counter to tie it at 1, but it was all Toronto from there.
Moves and Marcus Johansson back in the lineup. Now Tavares. Here's Kerfoot. He scores! Alexander Kerfoot. A stinger on the short side. 16:04 left in period 1. Toronto breaks the ice. Conley sends it back in his own territory. On bounce. Appleton Yardcroak scores! Fortuitous bounce. And the Kraken will take it. Larson sends it back for Jeremy Lauzon. He'll protect it along the boards. Forechecked by Matthews and Marner. Bunting. They score! On a ricochet, Michael Bunting had it last. In the skates of Mikheyev, now Sandin thinks twice. Spezza slap pass tipped. They score! Michael Bunting in the dead slot. Matthews out in front, directed out, a rebound, off the pipe and in. Mitch Marner. 10:45 left in the second period. Giordano, look out, shorthanded, Mitch Marner. Open ice, he's in, he'll drag it, he'll drop it off, and they score. McCann with a shot, leaking through Campbell.
Right off the face-off, you get McCann into the spot where he wants to shoot. This one just scoots by Campbell.
Goes the back of the goal, Nylander gets to it. Lilligren at the point. Slap shot, scores, Jake Muzzin. So, Toronto seals the deal. They come to Seattle for the first time and defeat the Kraken.
Yeah, not a good game. Coach Dave Hackstall says he really thought the game turned on Toronto's second goal after Seattle had tied it up.
We got down 1, came back, pushed the momentum our way, towards the end of the, the kind of the middle part of the first period, tied it up 1-1. For me, the critical turning point was the second goal against. We had momentum at that time. It's a broken play down low in our zone, but it's a puck that we brought back and just weren't clean on exiting the zone, and that was one of the that's one of the real keys, especially against this team. If you're going to give if you give them second opportunities, or opportunities that they haven't had to work really hard for, you're going to get in trouble. And that was the case on the second goal against. And that was, for me, that was a real key turning point, even though it was pretty early in the hockey game.
Little story behind the story this morning. As I'm typing up the sports, I realized it's the first time I've ever had to type the word Winnipeg. Had to look it up to see I was spelling it correctly because that's where Seattle will play next on Wednesday. Also, Maple Leafs, the mascot for Toronto, is grammatically incorrect. It should be Leaves, not Leafs. Anyway, 5 o'clock, they'll drop the puck on Wednesday on Root Sports Northwest. Wenatchee Wild wrap up a 5-game road trip tonight in Vernon. Wenatchee's 2-2 on the trip so far, and coming off a shootout win over Prince George Saturday. Inner voice of the Wild, Sean Ziers, says the team will gladly come home to host Vernon after the finale of the road trip tonight.
They're so used to playing on the road, it's not even funny. And when you have limited home games, especially in the month of February, you take advantage of as much as you can. But then again, you've already played up there twice in Vernon, so you have an idea about what to look out for. If there's any nuances, if the boards are lively, and or is there something that you can do differently where you can maybe bounce the puck off somewhere like that. I just think that it's going to be nice to get them back home in front of their home crowd and let them get a little bit of home cooking, because once you get through the month of February, March, you're going to get a lot of home games. So these are very important games against Vernon, especially when you're trying to catch the Cranbrooks and the Vernons up in the standings, especially for playoff seed.
We have posted that interview with Sean on our website if you want to learn more about what's happening behind the scenes with the Wenatchee Wild. Wenatchee and Vernon drop the puck tonight at 7 o'clock. You can hear it locally with Mr. Ziers on the column, 560 KPQ, or you can watch it if you have a subscription to Hockey TV. Well, the Wenatchee Panther girls season came to an end last night as they fell at home in a makeup game to West Valley, 48-38. That means no opportunity at the postseason for the Panthers. Eastmont girls will have a road trip tomorrow for a district play-in game at Sunnyside at 6. Wenatchee boys play at Moses Lake in their play-in game at 6 o'clock as well. We will have Eastmont boys play-in game here on the NCWLIFE channel as they host Sunnyside. Grant and I will be courtside with the play-by-play live on Facebook at 6, delayed on TV at 7 o'clock. Omak edged Chelan last night in the battle for second place in the District 6 1A tournament, 38-37. That means Omak will go on as the number 2 seed from the CTL in the crossover games with the Northeast A-League coming up Saturday and play on the road. Kashmir will host the CTL's number 1 seed. Chelan edged the Kashmir boys and ended their season 68-51 at Wenatchee High School last night. Win propels the Goats into a crossover game as the number 2 seed, while Quincy will be the number 1 seed coming up this weekend. District 6 2B girls tournament resumes tonight in Tenasket, where the Tigers host the Brewster Bears in a loser-out game at 6:30. Okanagan and Lake Roosevelt don't play the championship game coming up until Friday. And the Washington State men played a makeup game in Eugene last night, came up short against the Ducks. The final score was Oregon coming out on top, 62-59. Michael Flowers led the way for WSU with 23 points. And on the women's side, Eastern Washington got 18 points from Alexis Pettis and beat Montana 63-57. That's sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Join me tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. As you know by now, we're building up to the big night, Saturday night, for the Royalty Selection Pageant presented by Cashmere Valley Bank. We've already introduced you on this show to 4 candidates, and tomorrow on Wednesday's edition, you'll get to know candidates Paige Garrettson and Mallory West. Paige and Mallory do the honors as they had a chance to sit down with the very own Eric Grandstrom. They will be in the second half of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The first half, everything you need to start your day. Your weather forecast, your past report, news, sports, all that good stuff. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're live and local tomorrow, Wednesday morning, right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.